Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, so I'll start off by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, for teaching me this truth and sincerity. Salutation to the hopeful elect that spread out the four corners of the earth. Okay, so the title of this lesson will Be of Good Cheer. Okay, be of good cheer. So, you know, there's not really, you know, when you look at that word, when you not search up that word, be a good cheer, right? There's some how different people interpreted what was saying. And, they pretty much on the point, right? You know, how someone said people also ask what did so they say so-called they say Jesus mean by saying be a good cheer, having hope, not getting discouraged, not losing faith, and that they're on the point. They're pretty much on the point, right? Because we have this truth, we have this knowledge, we have this understanding, and we know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, right? So there's nothing really for us to be, to be um to be afraid of, right? There's nothing, there's really nothing for us to be, sad over about, right? Because we are not in the dark. Um, we're not in the dark like the others, right? We are not in dark. We are not in darkness like the 2/3 of our people, right? So you know, we you have to be thankful, right? You have to be grateful that Yahweh Shah, He gave you the eyes, you know, and the understanding to see, you know, and to have hope, and salvation and deliverance. Okay, so I'm not gonna carry too long. I'm gonna bring out some precepts. I'm gonna start off in John chapter 16, verse 23. It reads, John chapter 16, verse 23. So these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace, right? In the world you should have tribulation. Okay, so this is why the elders and apostles always say, when we're around brothers, we're around like-minded people like us, and that's going through the same things as us. We have peace. We have it's a sense of comfort. But when we like at work, or out in the world around about, our soul is vexed. We're going through some type of affliction. Because we're around people that is not spiritual. Is not on a spiritual level like us. Is not on a is not operating off a spiritual mindset like us. Especially 2/3 of our people. This is why you see a lot of judgment happening, right? In the world, you should have tribulation, right? In the world we always have tribulation. We always have some sort of thing we have to, we're just oppressed. In this captivity, we are just truly oppressed. But be a good cheer. So we have to be a good cheer. We have to have faith, courage, hope. You know, I have overcome the world, right? So, you know, Yahweh he had overcome the world, right? He have, you know, he had defeated, you know, death, right? He have, Yahweh this is why he's the ultimate, um, he's the ultimate example, of overcoming this world, of enduring affliction, enduring tribulation, right? Now, be a good cheer. I'm gonna with that. It doesn't give you like a good meaning of it, but it'll give you some meaning. Be a good courage and be a good courage, right? Be a good cheer, to have hope, to have faith. So I'm going to go in the book of the Apocrypha, and I'm going to go into the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 4. Sirach, chapter 2, verse 4, and it reads, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state." Right? So again, we have to be patient, right? We have to be cheerfully, we have to be of good cheer when we are, when we are during affliction, when we are going through affliction, when we are going through, tribulations, right? Fifth verse: "For gold is tried in the fire." Okay, and an acceptable is like an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity, right? So you know, so if gold is tried in the fire to do what? To get hardening, right? To harden. And an acceptable man, which is a man of the Lord, right, is tried through the adversity, is tried to tribulation, is ultimately to build us up, right, to harden us, right, to strengthen us, right. All right, so sixth verse: "Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him." Right, so we have to believe in Yahweh Shah. We have to trust in Yahweh Shah. That we have to set our ways aright in Yahweh Shah, right? We have to always be in that. We can't be so caught up in that house of feasting, in the house of just partying it every time. That we have to be in the house of mourning, right? The house of sadness, right? Because as it's written, um, when you're in the house of mourning, right? You know, your heart, it cleanses your mind, cleanses your heart, right? It humbles you ultimately, right? And when we are in the house of mourning, we are trusting and believing on Yahweh Shah, right? We are not so caught up in the world. Seventh verse: "Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go it not aside lest ye fall." Right. So, if you are truly man of the Lord, you will fear the Lord, right? You will wait for his mercy. You won't try to worry about, um, the cares of this world, right? The cares of, trying to make it in this world like the 2/3 of our people, right? Because ultimately it's going to lead down to your destruction, right? It's going to lead down to your downfall, right? So we have to wait upon the Lord, right? For his mercy. This is why it says that Yahweh Shah has overcomes the world, right? We're just waiting for him to come back to deliver his elect. 8 verse: "Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, believe him, believe him in your Slakia, believe him, and your reward shall not fail." Right. So this is going back to be a good cheer. We are going through this for a reason. There's a reward on the other side. 9 verse: "Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy." Right. So this is why we need to be a good cheer, right? Because we know that when we are the tribulation that we're going through, we are hoping for good and everlasting joy and mercy. And we are hoping that there's a reward at the end, right? And 10th verse: "Look ye at the generation of old, and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his affair and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?" Right? So again, if the ancient prophets of old, if they went through the same thing, and they trusted in the Lord, and the Lord says that they will they will get they get that reward that they was hoping for, then we have to be of that same mindset, right? You know, 11th verse, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgives sins and save it in time of affliction, right? Okay, then you said 13th verse, woe, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore he should he not be defended. Woe, which means destruction. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye but when the Lord shall visit you, right? So, you know, we can't be in that mind state or losing patience, or losing, hope. We can't be in that mindset, right? We have to, we have to hope. We have to pray. You know, we have to be a good cheer. We have to have courage. We have to fight, endure. This and it's all and it's also going back to putting on a new mind, right? Putting on a new man, right? When you put on a new man, you put on a new mindset, right? You put on a new manner of living, right? A new manner of, a new mindset. Galatians chapter 3, verse 1. If ye then be risen with Mashiach, seek those things which are above, where Mashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Second verse, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Right. So again, going back to the title, be a good cheer. When we are being a good courage, when we're having hope and having faith, we are setting our affection on things above, not on the things on the earth, right? Because all things is vanity, right? All things is carnal. All things can rust and corrupt. You know, set your affection. And you go to word for renewal, right? To have understanding, be wise, um, to be of the same mind, right? Cherish, agree together, cherish the same views, to direct one mind to a thing, to seek, to strive for it, right? So this all going back to be a good cheer, When we are being a good cheer, we are having our mind um, on the thing above, right? On that award that's waiting on that incorruptible crown. We are seeking that. And we're starving for that, right? And this all goes back to running that race. Hebrews 13. It's like Hebrews 3 and 13. Hebrews chapter 3, verse 13. But exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Right. So we have to exhort one another, right? We have to read. We have to can't be we can't be caught up in our sin. We can't let our sin, you know, let us, fall out of this truth. We have to endure, right? We have to, we can't be hardened by our sin, right? We have to constantly endure, constantly set our affection on things above, right? And the 12th verse, take heed, brethren, lest there be any of you an evil heart of unbelief, right? And departing from the love of power. What does that mean? And that goes back to, John chapter 16, verse 33. We can't be of that spirit of, unbelief, right? That spirit of losing faith, that spirit of not being of good cheer, that spirit of, not being a good courage, right? We can't be in that type of spirit. We have to be we can't be that all going by carnal minded. When we are in that spirit, we are being carnal minded, right? We have to be spiritual. 14 verse, for we are made partakers of Hamashiach, if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end, right? So we had to, which I was going back to endure to the end. We have to be a good cheer in order to endure to the end. We have to be a good courage. We have to have faith. We have to have much faith, much strength to endure. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29, he giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength, right? So going back to Sirach, Sirach chapter um, 2, verse 13, woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not, therefore he should not be defended, right? So, this is why when we have that, when we are losing some sort of faith, we have to pray to Yahweh to and increase our faith, right? This is why I say he giveth power to the faint, right? To the one that is to them that lose their faith, right? To those brothers that is losing faith, to those brothers that's losing hope, to that because we are because evil is increasing, the demons are getting very, very, they're increasing, right? They're making some brothers bug out, they're making some brothers, lose faith, lose hope, right? So we have to be of good cheer. We have to have these scriptures, to exhort one another, right? To continue in the fight, and to them that have no might, he increases strength, right? Some brothers, just can't, some brothers just feel weak, in the church. Some brothers feel like they can't go any longer, right? Some brothers feel like they can't endure to the end, Speaking to myself for first months, this is why we have to constantly be in this truth, constantly be in these scriptures, right? There's some times where we can, just relax, and sometimes we can just, we can't stay in that, mindset of relaxing, right? Because when those demons, that's when they get a strength from, right? We can't be idle all the time in the church, right? We can't wax, we can't wax, cold. Okay, so going back to Sirach chapter 2, verse 14, woe unto you that have lost patience, and what would ye do when the Lord shall visit you? When they, that's going back to what? A brother that lose strength, right? A brother that can't fight anymore, right? So, they all go back to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29. We had to pray, that you know that much shall increase our strength. In Isaiah chapter 40, verse 30, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young man shall utterly fall. And ultimately, this is talking about those 2/3 of our people, that that is not trusting in the Lord, that's not fearing the Lord Yahweh Shah, right? That lost patience, right? Um, 31 verse, but they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh shall renew their strength, right? They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Ultimately, this is going back to spiritual power. So this is why we have to be a good cheer. We have to be a good courage, because we know that Yahweh Shah, He gonna give His elect spiritual powers, right? He gonna renew His elect strength, right? So we have to have faith. We have to have courage. We have to exhort one another. We have to continue to fight. We have to continue to endure. We have to pray always, pray and fast, whatever you Akim need to do, to continue the fight, to continue to endure to the end, right? So this whole quick this was a quick live stream, all done through the power and glory of Yahweh Shah, right? So, I hope that this lesson was edifying. Until the next time, we'll say Shalom.